Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to post to you a broadcast, a live broadcast. This was I I replied to a comment regarding the refusal of the Buckingham Palace to return the body of a teenage prince captured by the British troops. He was captured by the British troops. You can see it. The body of a teenage prince captured by the British troops will not be returned to his remaining family in East Africa, and the British royal family has said in the latest high-profile feud over legacy of his brutal colonial past. Buckingham Palace has refused a repeated request to repatriate the remains of Prince Deja Alemayehu of Abyssinia, which includes the modern-day Ethiopia, who was taken from his home at the age of 6 in 1868 and died just over a decade later in England. His body is buried in Windsor Castle, one of the King Charles's official residences and the traditional site for British royal funerals and weddings. Alemayehu was taken from Africa after the British forces defeated his father and looted his imperial capital. In one of the most notorious military operations of Britain's colonial era, Ethiopia has been asking for the prince's remains and other treasures to be returned for the last 150 years. Fasil Minaz, a descendant of the Abyssinian royal family and a relative of Alemayehu, told the BBC, "We want his remains back as a family and as Ethiopians because that is not the country he was born in." But the palace said this week that this wasn't possible as it would disturb other human remains buried nearby. You couldn't make this up. Deans and canons of Windsor Castle are very sensitive to the need to honor the memory of Prince Almaheyu, Buckingham Palace said in a statement sent to NBC on Tuesday. However, they have been advised that it is very unlikely that it will be possible to exhume the remains without disturbing the resting place of a substantial number of others in the vicinity, the statement said. The Ethiopian embassy in London is welcome to keep visiting the grave to pay respect, the statement added, but the historian said the palace should do more to take responsibility for its past. Look at this. So they are having to go. The family are having to go there, see their own, the king, queen, prince, in a foreign land. Staff from the Ethiopian embassy in London paid tribute to the late prince outside St. George's Chapel at Windsor in 2019. Can you see? This is such an emotional issue because it reminds everyone of Alemahew's plight as a child. A child stuck in foreign land, never allowed to go home. Andrew Evans, author of the book on Alemayehu and the British raid on Abyssinia titled "The Prince and the Plunder," told NBC News. Emotionally, most of the people who got to know Alemayehu's story feel his remains should be returned. He made it so clear before he died that he wanted to go back. Evans said. The palace could do more to show Ethiopia exactly why the prince's body can be removed, Evans added. Alemayehu was the son of Emperor Abyssinia Tewodros II. Coptic Christian ruler had taken missionaries and British government officials captive after Britain refused to assist him in wars with mostly Muslim neighboring countries. In December 1867, Britain launched an expedition of 13,000 soldiers and 40,000 animals, including 44 elephants, trained to pull huge artillery guns, according to the National Army Museum in London, to free hostages. It took until April for them to reach Abyssinia capital, Magdala. More than 500 Abyssinians were killed and thousands injured in a 90-minute battle. Some estimates are much higher, and no complete contemporary record exists. British forces sustained 2 deaths, 18 soldiers injured. Tewodros subsequently killed himself with a pistol that had been a gift from Queen Victoria. It took 15 elephants and around 200 mules to carry the wealth of the British, carry all the wealth British looted from Magdala. Alemayehu's mother, Empress Terok Wube, intended to travel to England with her son, but died on the journey. Queen Victoria took an interest in Alemayehu and arranged for him to study at elite schools before he was sent to military training academy at Sandhurst. He left after less than a year for the English city of Leeds, where he died of pleurisy, inflammation of the lining surrounding the lungs, aged 18 in 1879. Victoria wrote in a diary, "Very grieved and shocked to hear by telegram that good Alemayehu had passed this morning. It's too sad, all alone in a strange country without single person or relative belonging to him. He was buried in the catacombs of St. George Cathedral in Castle. I mean, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I mean, so anyway, I'm giving you the context because I'm going to now read to you something. I am in a back and forth with somebody here now who's been writing to me because I answered something on a thread on YouTube. So let's go and look at what he said, what he first said. This guy called Brado. Anyway, so he's been trying to justify. He's now trying to justify to why they should keep the body. This Brado guy. Now, they were given the choice to stay in Ethiopia or go to Britain. The boy's mother traveled with him but died on the journey. They weren't given the choice. They weren't given the choice. They were not given the choice. The boy's mother traveled with him but died on the journey. Detaining officials is considered an act in every culture. Not good enough. So I wrote back, the body of the prince must be returned. It is wrong. The Sacha-Coburg family won't like the body of late queen held by another country. Indeed, it is guarded 24/7. Yeah. Why is it wrong? He's dead. He doesn't know. It's hundreds of years ago. So why only now is it an issue? And then I wrote back, if you want to talk about it, about what is wrong, he said, so then he wrote again, if you want to talk about what is wrong, in our culture, it is considered wrong to move a body once it's laid to rest. It is disturbing the rest. So if you want to talk about emotions and what is right and wrong, you should take into account all cultures involved. The guy was buried in a royal mausoleum, the highest honor for a foreigner. White people from other lands didn't get honor. Victoria genuinely felt the boy being caught in the middle of official business. That's none of that. We're not interested in that. We're not interested in that. So I wrote back, they want their prince back on their soil. That's the overriding issue. His body must be returned to his people. Then I wrote, then he wrote again ago, well, he's buried with the Queen Victoria who adopted him. So bad luck. It's illegal to touch her tomb. It's not their prince. Also, it's not their prince. Really, this was 160 years ago. Nobody alive today knows or remembers anything, and clearly there's a lot of speculation because that has been said on the video or comments is speculation because nothing that has been said on the video or comment is true at all because you said so. Really. Anyway, so let's carry on. So the back and forth has been going on forth. Well, let's listen to this. So it says one comment is literally says, I bet they ate him and buried him alive. Like what? And that, you see, he's trying to justify the keeping of. You shouldn't. The body of this guy must be returned. This man, this prince must be returned. It is really unacceptable. It is totally unacceptable. Please, as you're watching, don't forget to subscribe to Season AY on YouTube. I'll shortly show you a little clip of the video when it runs through, when I'm just about to finish, so you can really, help us grow the platform as well. Now it says, Brado. And then he replies to me, good Prince Almaheyu with Victoria. When he's with her, he's smiling. They bonded. She adopted him and he was heartbroken when he lost his life. Yeah, fine. But you see, he must be, the royal family in Ethiopia are demanding for his remains back. That is where his remains belong. And the royal family of Ethiopia are not even related to him. How can you even say that? Let me show you what that last statement. Let me go back and get you something to show you. He is related to. You heard me say this is. Some people just talk without checking their facts. Look at this. So now it says here. Let me show you where it says. You heard me say it. Let me see now. I'm going to show you. Fasil Minas, a descendant of the Abyssinian royal family and a relative of Almaheyu. It's written by NBC News, not me. You can see it. So it says they're not even related to him. How can you say that? This is what I mean. They're trying to justify what is wrong. The body and what they stole must all be returned. Now, let's carry on and read to you what he said. He said, this is not for the UK to decide, I said. He is from Ethiopia, not UK. They want their prince back. Then he wrote back, so you want us to dig up the remains of the boy from 200 years ago from his resting place next to the person who adopted him and took care of him. He's lost his father and through the father's selfish pride, then his mother to sickness. Not selfish pride, he was protecting his land. All he has left was Victoria. He was her child after she adopted him. End of story. It's evil to disturb the dead. Really? I bet the UK didn't think about that when they raided the tomb of the pharaohs in Egypt, did they? Oh, so but it's only for your dead, not ours. Anyway, so then he says, then he wrote back. He knew Victoria as the royal household longer than he knew the Victoria and the royal household longer than his own country and family. By the time he died, he would have been much more accustomed to British life than Ethiopian life. Now, let me just let me really counter that straight away, because they said here, before he died, these are the words that they said in the writing. So don't think that's him there. May his soul rest in peace. His body must be returned. You see what they're doing? They, all of this. He's not happy. So now he says here. Let me just show you. Let me see. So it says here. There was some talk that he was talking about. He wanted to go home. Let me see. It says here. It says he made it so clear before he died he wanted to go back. Heaven said. So he made it so clear. Emotionally, most people who get to know feel Almaheyu's story feels his remains should be returned. He made it so clear before he died that he wanted to go back. Heaven said. So this is something that is, people are coming to try and make discussions and argue about things without taking the facts. I am giving you the facts as we speak. And this guy, this Brado guy, is trying to justify what is totally unjustifiable. So I wrote back to him now finally. I said, this is not acceptable. The country is demanding for for his body back. There is no way UK would accept the Queen's remains leaves this country. It is wrong. His body must be returned. We are not chattel. Don't you get it? He needs to rest. Let me just change that quickly. I'm just trying to change one or two things. He needs to rest, because that's actually it's a live broadcast thing. But he needs to rest in his home. Don't forget, the British army were the ones who destroyed the Ethiopian, Abyssinian to be more precise. So I should put the Ethiopian/Abyssinian kingdom. Yeah, Abyssinia. So I'm going to write that down as you see it. Nyan kingdom. They did destroy it because they went in there and because he held others captive to help come and support him. Yeah, they could have said no. We're not. They could have only taken their men and then left them, but they destroyed and took stuff back. And look at what they did. So they're trying to justify spoils of war and nonsense. Let us be very clear. This is what they did. They did this. So it says here. They took about. Let me see. I'm trying to show you. It said it took 15 elephants and around 200 mules to carry all the wealth the British looted from Magdala, Almayehuy's mother, Empress Wube, intended to travel in England with her son but died on the journey. So you see, all of this, it just shows you there is no justification for holding on to the to the body. He must be returned. So anyway, I just wanted to just show you this so you could get. Let me read that. Let me move that up. I'll read that again to you. I said to him, "This is not acceptable. The country is demanding for it back." Let me just make sure that is actually clear here. I want to make sure that clear. No. Sorry. Let me just. So let me just. The country. This is not acceptable. The country is demanding for his body back. His body. Let me just make it. In fact, I make the change here to be returned back. Yeah. So I'm gonna just do that. And anyway, I mean, you see it to be returned back to them, to be returned home, to be returned home. I mean, what is it in it? Why are you refusing to? You don't have to respect. You have no respect for the African dead. I mean, so I really, so this is, so I said that is not acceptable. The country is demanding for his body to be returned home. There is no way UK would accept the Queen's remains leaves this country. It is wrong and his body must be returned. We are not chattel. Don't you get it? He needs to rest in his home. Don't forget, the British Army were the ones who destroyed the Ethiopian Abyssinian kingdom. So I wrote that. I wait for his reply, and I might even give you a further update on that. So let me just show you again. I'll read that to you here. So I'm just showing you the back and forth between me and this guy regarding the royal family, and I wanted you to just get a context. It was on another thread of a reply about the need for the Alemayehu, Alemayehu to be returned. And that's his body here that they go and visit. And that is very, very wrong. It is actually a disrespect to the people to whom you came and you looted from them. Not only, and they are justifying. This is so wrong. This is so wrong. So I wanted to know your views. You watching me, what are your thoughts on this? How do you see it? So hopefully when he replies back, I would reply, I will show you. So you can see this guy, Badu, whatever, Bradu, and trying to justify. You can't justify it. You can't justify it. It is wrong. So anyway, what I thought, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. So please subscribe, hit the notification button, and of course, keep it locked on. So keep it locked on, Sinewa. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you find that interesting, and as Africans, we really need to make sure that the things that's been taken from Africa must be returned back to Africa, because they would, if the shoe was on another foot, they wouldn't accept that, and I wouldn't want them to accept that. So we're just saying that give back what was returned, what was stolen, the body and the things that were looted. The kingdom was looted and destroyed. That is a fact, and it must be returned. That's all we're saying. So anyway, let's know your thoughts. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Back later on. Thank you, and bye for now.